AITA for using my special needs privileges? Reminder: I am not op. Posted by you, AITA Special Needs Stu in R. Am I the Asshole? January 26, 2021. // Trigger warning. Ableism. Less than. Original post, AITA for using my special needs privileges? About a year ago, my university added psychological problems to the special needs students' requests. I have been diagnosed with severe anxiety and clinical depression, so I decided to apply to the program. The program is strictly enforced and they requested my diagnosis, the date and the doctor. Then, they contacted my doctor. Well, I got in. I have around 1.5x time in exams. Able to record the lectures. I can get help from the program when I need. Some absences allowed, etc. One of my friends learned about my special needs status and then confronted me. Told me since I was stable and functioning, I shouldn't be using the program and I was probably taking away from someone who needed it more. It's true that I have been in therapy for a while and have been taking medication. My panic attacks are less frequent and less damaging. She called me an asshole for taking part in a program clearly isn't meant for me. Some of my friends told me they agree with her and that they had been thinking this for a while. I am truly conflicted. On one hand, I truly benefited from the program, but on the other hand, maybe they're right and I am using this selfishly. So Reddit. AITA? Update post update AITA for using my special needs privileges? February 2, 2021. Edit. Just needed to add as an edit. There were a few people who just never knew psychological problems can be seen as a disability. Needing accommodations. If you guys need information regarding the procedure of universities or the criteria, I would love to help each one of you. I know how hard it is to deal with this on your own. My wish is for these problems to be seen as normal as other disabilities. Without prejudice. The process isn't easy, but it is rewarding. The universities usually don't talk about these accommodations, so ask your counselors. Anyone in the departments. Here is the link to the original post. First of all, thank you guys for the encouragement to use my special needs status and confronting my friend about her reaction. I admit I used some of your words when talking to her to better expand myself. We talked, and at first it seemed like she was sympathetic to my situation, but after a while, she told me that I was exaggerating, and she specifically told me, I deal with depression and anxiety. I don't need the program. She expressed that she feels as though this was encouraging me to be lazy, and while she understood there wasn't a limit to students in the program, she told me that I was being unfair to those with learning disabilities by getting the same accommodations. I tried to explain my accommodations. My need to get more time being because of a panic attack I had during a proctored Zoom exam, but she kind of flared up and shouted that it wasn't fair to her that she was not getting the same treatment. She felt like the university was playing favorites. I decided to remove myself from the situation and told her that I was rethinking our friendship. Not to contact me for now. So there it is. Not a happy update, but I at least got to explain myself. I am also contemplating whether I should send this post to her for her to see other people's reactions, but I am not sure. Thank you guys again. You guys really help with my confidence in this situation. So the friend isn't concerned about other, more deserving, special needs folks not getting into the program, as there is no space limit. She's just jealous of the benefits. And shouted that it wasn't fair to her that she was not getting the same treatment. Sounds like she didn't apply though? Special needs privileges is not a combination of words I thought I'd ever have to read. This is such classic ableism. Like girl. Go apply for accommodations if you think you need it. Don't be mad at someone for getting what they need to thrive. It's not op's fault your internalized ableism is stopping you from getting whatever treatment, accommodations you need. Does not having a brain count as a disability? If so, she can consider joining the program as well. She kind of flared up and shouted that it wasn't fair to her that she was not getting the same treatment. She felt like the university was playing favorites. The truth finally reveals itself. Funny how jealousy is easily masked with advocacy. Oop better keep this one at a fair distance. 'Cause this friend is just another proverbial crab in a bucket. People are so dismissive of mental health 'cause we've been desensitized by all the "I am so depressed" jokes on social media. Good on her, him, them for taking advantage for their own well-being and not listening to outside noise. I love how the friends are dogging on op for using a program that required an application and documentation from a doctor, and they're acting like op just showed up and got in with no effort. Plus, you know the biggest benefit of accommodations like the ones op was given? It helps them to stay stable. So they're basically saying op should have to become a mess to be allowed to use help that's available. Bunch of jerks. If I can't have it, you can't have it. Grow the F up, friend. You have absolutely no clue how debilitating anxiety and depression can be. Medical professionals decided that OOP required the extra assistance. And the school agreed. Sounds like the friend has a serious case of sour grapes and needs to get over themselves. If they didn't need accommodations, I highly doubt that the university would have allowed them into the program if there are limited spaces. I have ADHD and never needed accommodations aside from letting some of my lecturers know that if I'm not paying attention, it's nothing personal. My brain just isn't letting me focus. My friend also has ADHD, and he was approved for extra time as well as a uni-issued laptop to write on because no one can read his handwriting. If you have two people with the same mental illness, neurodivergency, those two people can have vastly different experiences. Extra for others does not mean less for you. Simple as that. I'm glad op stood up for herself and realized this was no friend but simply a crab wanting to bring another crab down. Honestly, always hated people like friend who, instead of understanding why people might need more help, instead beat them down and try to bully them out of much needed programs because you don't act disabled enough. Also, doesn't the friend know if she does need the help like OOP? She could have also signed up for the program for support? And what about those other friends who were agreeing with her? Do they have the same mindset that OOP is not in need of the program because they don't act like it? Or because the friend was telling them a much different story? So OOP is trying to get to the same level as her friend, who, for example, does not have panic attacks in the middle of exams. And that means the university is playing favorites? Makes sense. Should the rich receive as much financial help as the poor? The healthy as much as the sick? Fuck no. If I offer a stool for a child so they can reach as high as me, am I encouraging them to be lazy? If I let someone who looks tired have my seat at the bus, is that unfair to the person next to them who isn't tired? I think you all agree with my rant. I'm just so unhappy with this friend. OOP seems to have a lot of nice friends. Let's hope they all get sick so they can get the favorism they crave. Edit to add how mad I am the friend used people with learning disabilities as a comparison. I have a learning disability and I am fine with people receiving the help they need. I've met people who are sick and are handicapped from illnesses they got in life and haven't had since birth. OOP have suffered for years and now they finally receive help. I doubt the university is too giving. It sounds like the friend needs to see a doctor and counselor. Get her diagnosis for her apparent depression as well and apply for this program. She is jealous of Oop and needed the extra time. Instead of belittling Oop, she should have asked for her on getting counseling and doctor to figure out that path of healing for herself. My anxiety is so debilitating. Sometimes I can't function at all. Actually, most days. People really underestimate how it can impact you. Nothing stopping her from applying. Good for Op for advocating for herself. If you have a disability of any kind, it is always a good idea to get involved with disabilities services at your university. I had similar accommodations in college for ADHD and depression. I never found the extra time helpful. I was always a fast test taker. Had to get it done before the attention span expired lol. But when I ran into a serious mental health issue, I already had the documentation and the support in place at my school. So I didn't have to worry about doing any of that when I was already overwhelmed. This turned what could have been a major disaster into a temporary setback. This was my second attempt at higher education. The first time I went to a different school and did not get involved with disability services. When I had a mental health emergency, I didn't have any support at school and I failed out. It makes a difference. I have a friend who acts like this about my autistic nonverbal son because he looks fine. What's he supposed to look like? Disabilities are often invisible, and this friend can F right off out of your life. Toxic. The friend is ridiculous. I qualified as special needs due to mental health in college. This was 1994-ish. So it's been a thing for a while. I did not end up using any of the extended time, etc. I'm grateful I could have. But those things were not what would have helped me. Because people are different.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.